Villisca, Iowa, a small, quiet town surrounded by fields and fences where everyone knows each other. On a cold October evening, I arrived there with one purpose: to spend a night inside one of America's most haunted homes, the Villisca Axe Murder House. It looked peaceful from the outside, just a white wooden house on 508 East 2nd Street. But everyone in town knew what happened inside more than a century ago. In 1912, 6 members of the Moore family and 2 visiting children were murdered in their sleep, each struck with an axe. The killer was never found, and people said the souls never left. The caretaker, Martha, met me at the gate. She was quiet, with eyes that looked like they'd seen too much. "Lock yourself in," she said, handing me a small iron key. "They prefer it that way." I tried to laugh it off, but her voice carried no humor. When I stepped inside, I felt it instantly. The air was heavy, cold, and still. The old floors groaned under my boots as if warning me to turn back. The house smelled faintly of iron and wood rot. A framed photo of the Moore family hung on the wall, 8 smiling faces frozen in time. I unpacked my gear, motion sensors, recorders, and cameras, setting them up in every room. I placed one recorder near the parents' bedroom, where the first victims were found. It was 9:47 p.m. The house was silent, except for the old clock ticking in the kitchen. "If anyone's here," I whispered, "I just want to hear your story." At first, there was nothing. Then, without warning, the temperature dropped. My breath turned white. One of the motion sensors blinked red, movement detected in the hallway. I checked the monitor. A dark shadow moved slowly toward the parents' room. My flashlight cut through the darkness, but the hallway was empty. No sound, no breeze, just the stillness of a house that was waiting. I played back the recorder. A man's whisper came through the static, low and hoarse. "Don't go upstairs." Every story I'd read said the same thing. The attic was where the killer hid before the murders. My heart raced, but curiosity won. I started climbing the stairs. The staircase was narrow, steep, and cruelly loud. Halfway up, I heard it. Faint laughter. 2 voices, a boy and a girl. "Is that you, Lena? Ina?" I asked, naming the 2 visiting children who died that night. The laughter stopped. Then a whisper floated back. "Play with us." My skin prickled. I reached the top and entered the children's room. 2 small beds, peeling wallpaper, and a broken doll missing one eye. As I stepped closer, one of the chairs toppled over by itself. I froze. My camera shook in my hand. Then from above came footsteps, slow, deliberate, from the attic. I forced myself up the small wooden ladder. The air grew colder, thicker, heavier. The attic smelled like dust and blood. I swept my flashlight across the walls. Something sharp had scraped deep marks into the wood, fresh ones. And then I saw it, a tall black shape standing by the doorway. It didn't move, it didn't breathe. Then, as my light flickered, it melted into the darkness. A loud knock echoed from downstairs, 3 sharp bangs. "Who's there?" I shouted. No answer. Again, bang, bang, bang. I ran to the kitchen. The door was locked from the inside, exactly as I had left it. I checked my recorder. A woman's voice sobbed faintly. "Josiah, please don't." I froze. Josiah Moore, the father who'd been the first to die. At 1:17 a.m., it began again, the sound every investigator talks about, the echo of an axe swinging. Swish, thud, swish, thud. From the parents' bedroom. I entered slowly. The marks on the ceiling beams were still there, old axe dents from that night. I whispered, "Why did you do it?" The recorder captured a reply, a man's voice, calm and chilling. "They never screamed." The cameras upstairs suddenly went dark. Static filled the monitors. Then for a single second the feed flickered, showing that same tall shadow bending over the children's bed, its head turned toward the camera before the feed died completely. The room felt heavy, like something breathing just behind me. Then I felt it, warm air brushing against my neck. Slow, wet, close. I spun around. Nothing. Only a whisper in my ear. Get out. I ran down the stairs, heart pounding, flashlight trembling. The front door that I had locked was now open wide, the night air pouring in. I slammed it shut and leaned against the wall, shaking. But I couldn't leave without finishing. I decided to place one last camera in the basement. The stairs were weak and narrow, the air damp and freezing. Something moved in the shadows, a soft dragging sound, like wood scraping against cement. When my flashlight swept across the far wall, I saw it, an old axe lying flat, the blade rust-red, the handle worn. I stepped closer. It shifted slightly, scraping the floor. I froze. Then a face appeared in the dark corner, pale, hollow-eyed, lips curling into a smile. "She's behind you," it whispered. I turned, and there she was, a woman in a white dress, her eye sockets empty, mouth open in a silent scream. I bolted up the stairs and burst through the front door into the freezing night. My lungs burned, my hands shaking uncontrollably. The house looked calm again, white and still. But when I looked up at the window of the children's room, I saw two small silhouettes standing there, watching me. The curtains moved once, then stilled. Back at my motel, I checked the footage. Every camera showed interference at exactly 2:11 a.m. In the final frame before the power cut, I saw myself, and behind me, a blurred figure raising something shiny over its head. The axe. My stomach turned. I didn't sleep that night. In the morning, I called Martha. I told her what happened. She listened quietly. "You made it through," she said at last. "Most don't." When I asked what she meant, her voice was almost a whisper. Everyone who stays takes something home, a sound, a whisper, a dream. Then she hung up. Weeks later, back in Chicago, I began hearing it again. A soft thud in the night. Children laughing faintly in the hallway. Once I woke at 3 a.m. and looked up at my ceiling. 4 faint axe marks were etched above my bed, and from somewhere near my ear came that same whisper from Villisca. Calm, cold, unforgettable.